I can never reach the unmute button in a timely fashion, but hello, friends!
Ladies and gentlemen,
Look who's actually here! Wait, yeah, this feels so weird. I don't have to immediately follow up with, don't worry, Tom is safe, Tom is alright.
you could have played it cool and not mention that.
Well, it's worth celebrating. Worth celebrating. We have both hosts joining from the beginning tonight for what will prove to hopefully be an exciting evening as we pregame for the Percy Jackson. I believe this is going to be the finale, if it's 8 episodes, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The Percy Jackson and the Olympians season 1 finale. Can't believe we're already here.
Yeah.
But we wanted to just recap our thoughts on the show. I know we teased that we were going to have some special guests this week, other fans of the show. That fell through, unfortunately. So alas, y'all are stuck with me and Tom. Nice shirt, Tom. Yes, he always gets compliments when he wears this shirt. It is a badass shirt. It is incredible. That's a celebration buy,
Yeah.
no?
This is it is. Got this celebration in Anaheim. It's gonna show up in the finale tonight, so super pumped. That's why I'm wearing it.
Yeah, we can you tell we don't have any Percy Jackson merch? All we've got is
this is my Poseidon shirt. This is Poseidon.
You did finally watch the last few minutes of last week's episode, correct? You watched the whole thing, yes?
Yeah, and this is Poseidon.
Okay, sure.
Besides a god, he can turn into whatever he wants to be. He
But-
could look like this if he wanted to be.
Hello, everyone. We've not made the rounds yet. Shout out to the early squad. We had the Stanleys, Charlie, Sean, Zeta, Ben, Miller. Let's go. Yes, exciting news about Millie Alcock.
Oh wow.
Good
nice.
for her. I
Yeah.
hope she has a really good career. Bird Church, Jerry. Who's all here? Stanley's. Yes, gang's all here. I imagine it
Crew.
might be a smaller crowd this evening since we're specifically focusing on Percy Jackson, and I don't think everybody on my channel has been actively watching the show, but we've been really enjoying it. Well, you haven't said much. Every time we freaking talk about it, I feel like on the streams you still don't say very much. And even when I try to ask you about the episodes afterwards, I feel like you don't formulate too much of an opinion. So like, I think the people want to hear. Because everyone knows that I'm fraudulent and that I didn't actually read the books. So I'm just going in blind. Pretty much blind, because the last piece of knowledge that I have is from when I first saw the original adaptation, the feature film, in like 2012 or whenever that was. So, it was earlier. It was like 2010, 2009. Somewhere pre.
Shout out Logan Lerman.
Yes, somewhere.
Alexandra Daddario. I forget the Grover actor's name, but I mean, he was one of the best parts, I thought.
Yeah.
That Grover.
Yeah.
That Grover was awesome.
So, other than that, I have no prior knowledge, and everything from that original film you might as well have mind wiped me, because I don't remember anything. Everything is kind of, but there's also so much in the show. It's kind of crazy seeing the show, how they're able to obviously occupy 8 episodes worth, and I'm sure there's things that didn't even make it into the show from the book that maybe didn't even make the cut. So it's like, I can't believe they condensed this into a movie. So it's got to be satisfying if you're like Rick Riordan, the author, to be able to see it properly being, not to insinuate that the original adaptation wasn't proper, but he has made it very clear that he wasn't involved in that and he has some opinions about it. So it must be nice to just be able to see an adaptation include way much more of a thorough telling of your original story versus like, I'd be curious to go back and watch the first one now to see how much less made that cut compared to the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty comprehensive so far with the show.
You gotta give me something. Are you being intentionally vague, intentionally mysterious? You know what to talk about. I don't, because yeah, I can talk from the perspective of somebody who has never read the books, but I imagine people who have some stronger opinions. I like it. And I guess this could open up a debate, not to rehash the pretty mostly finished business from last week that ended up on a tie for those of you who were here and witnessed Tom and I arguing about our respective stances on whether it is beneficial to read a book before watching the film adaptation, beforehand or after watching. Tom and I have varied opinions about that, and I'm wondering if, his argument is coming into play here. Tom is very much a believer that you shouldn't read something before watching a film or television adaptation of it because it's automatically going to be lesser because there's obviously so much more in the books. I don't subscribe to that. I don't think that's always the case.
Mm-hmm.
So is that I feel like the fact that you haven't had much to say, is that pointing to how you feel? Like, just the people want to know. I could go on and on, but I'm not a book reader, so there's not much merit necessarily to what I have to say.
That's a good question. I don't think that in this case necessarily does. I mean, to be honest, I haven't read that book. I haven't read The Lightning Thief in probably like 15 years.
Jeez.
What was that? How would I be? 10? Does that make sense? Okay. It would have been 11. No. I would have been 16. No, I would have been 11. 15 years ago? Yes, would have been 11. So maybe like 15 years. It's been quite some time since I've read the book. So it's not like I'm crystal clear on all of the plot points and all the story beats and everything that is happening. So the main like book first or show first, like, because it's not like back to back. It's been so long. I don't remember everything. I don't really think that comes into play too much here, to be honest. And like reading the book when I was in middle school when it first came out versus watching the show now as a closer to 30-year-old than 20-year-old. 26. I think it's just different time periods and different frame of mind and life experience reading the book then versus watching the show. So overall, I love the book. I enjoyed the movie, and I'm enjoying the show. Geek Ledger, hot take. I love all the adaptations. So yeah, we're on the same page there. Movie, TV show, musical play.
That's right. I
Believer
forgot
in the
there's a
Percyverse
musical
theory. All versions of Percy Jackson can coexist and be great. Yeah, I agree. I mean, so far, I'm with you. Everything that we've gotten, I'm in the same boat. I think so essentially, I'm treading carefully because a lot of the thoughts revolve around the entire series of books.
Oh, so you don't
the
want to
entire
spoil.
storyline. So, for those who don't know, well, you mentioned you only saw the original movie. Did you even see the Sea of Monsters movie?
No, I didn't know that existed until
Okay.
I filmed my reaction to this trailer.
Okay, yeah. So, Catherine's knowledge of what's going on is limited to the first seven episodes of the show, pretty much. So, I think that, I guess what I will say, I think that knowing the entire story, at least from Lightning Thief through
You just
the
went over
last
this.
Olympian.
Yeah.
Lightning Thief through the last Olympian. Like knowing that whole storyline, I think
Affects your viewing experience.
Yes, I think like the show is great, and I love the Lightning Thief, and I think the best thing about the Percy Jackson series is that, kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings, and all the fantastical sci-fi universes that you and I like, and that obviously the majority of you watching like, is that it is a steady inclined up.
So you're saying that obviously there's how many books? There's like what, 7?
Five.
There's a lot of books. 5. You're saying that having a larger knowledge, knowing where everything goes, doesn't hinder necessarily your viewing experience, but impacts it in a way, because you are privy to the larger story, and watching now and seeing how it relates to what is to come still, like that again doesn't necessarily have to have a negative connotation, but it somehow affects your viewing experience. 6 now, correct, Jaeger? Yes, he released that one last year.
True. Yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm.
I have not read that. My sister got that for me for Christmas, so still have to read that one. But yes, that is true.
Perfect timing on his part. Good for you, Rick.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So yes, I think that, like, I mean, this is the minimum 3rd time that I've experienced the Lightning Thief story.
True.
I know I've read the book multiple times. I don't know how many times, but definitely at least one. The movie that came out, I've definitely seen that at least once. I think I've seen it a couple times. And then now watching through the show. So at least 3 times, like, seeing this story play out. And I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I really don't have any critiques about the show. I think where I'm at right now is, as a fan who knows the bigger picture, except for the 6th book, this would be the most casual story and the foundational story relative to where we would go from here in future seasons.
Sheesh. So, just dipping our toes in.
This is certainly laying the foundation, and like all the other great franchises that I mentioned that you and I both love, it just continues to build on that foundation and the lore and expanding the story and the characters and the conflicts. So I'm very excited for what's to come.
Yeah, Geek
Ledger. For me, it's been a casual viewing experience of the show, because like I love it. I don't have any complaints about it. I can't wait to see what comes next.
So you're saying this is tame in comparison to what is still
I am not going to go into more detail other than that.
I like what,
because I am excited for you
Geek
to
Ledger's
experience the rest of what is to come.
I need to read this. I have no predictions for how this episode is going to go. The small changes they're making are starting to add up, and I genuinely feel the same way I did when I was reading the book for the first time. Is that to say that like anything could happen? Anything goes, like, tonight? Like, that's actually really interesting to hear from somebody with the book backstory, that even going in with that, knowing how it ends, or at least the finite ending to this first book, that's interesting to hear that it still could not be up in the air per se, but like you still are going in with like open eyes, like what could happen, like that's a really interesting. From what I understand, there's also going to be an 8th book. Oh my gosh, yes, someone just said he's doing another one. Now he's doing an 8th book. Good for him.
Yeah, there are other books in the universe that are directly tied to Percy Jackson. I know I've read a couple of those, but I don't remember exactly which ones. But the core original five books that Rick Riordan created, I'm very familiar with those. So
yeah.
So Tyler Lynn, that's a fantastic question, and something that I definitely want to be a focal point of this episode is have a segment of Kat Predicts.
Oh God.
And she can predict what's going to happen. And for those of us who've seen it, we can smile and wave and see what's going on in her head.
This is awful.
I'm very curious.
Everybody knows.
I'm very curious.
Well, the Oracle prediction, is that what we're trying to
we're trying to figure out what your predictions are.
Guess that one of his friends will betray him. I mean, honestly, when I was thinking about that last week's episode, when they finally get to the underworld, they're going in strong, and I was like, all right, well, this is where the Oracle started to say shiz was gonna hit the fan. Like, he still has yet to be betrayed. Everything that she foretold, is the thought kind of crossed my mind. Again, I could not rack my brain enough to try to conjure any little sliver of knowledge that I still might have remaining from my 6th grade brain back when I first saw the original film. So fear not, there's nothing for me to draw from because there's nothing left. There's nothing in there. So I might as well have never seen the original movie because so long ago, none of it has stuck with me. So, as they were descending down into the underworld, though, I was like, is this gonna be like the Oracle's wrong? Like I was like, however, that was my initial thought. I was like, all right, well, he predicted it was going to be Annabeth, but it's probably going to be a different twist because if he predicted it, then they're not going to follow through with that. And obviously their friendship has developed. So I was beginning to question, like, maybe the Oracle just didn't know. Maybe the Oracle was just wrong, like, or someone will betray, like, I don't know. So those are my thoughts, but then they get to that forest where there were those souls in purgatory, and their bodies shifted into the roots in the ground, and it was a symbol of being stuck there forever, eternally, due to regrets. Those who had made mistakes in their lives or regret things they did or didn't do are permanently there to suffer. And it started to the vines started to encroach on Annabeth, and she also seemed to have some trepidations when she kind of articulated, verbalized, they had the discovery of where they were, what this symbolized, the suffering, the eternal suffering that these souls were cursed to. So
interesting observation.
So I was like, the clues are in the prophecy. The traitor is Hondo's mom.
Observation, Derek.
Keep your
Dark
friends
Knight,
close.
stop spoiling the show, please.
Put your enemies close. I mean, it's true. That a friend will betray you. But, like, another thing, again, I totally forget the initial movie entirely. Another thing that crossed my mind was Luke back at camp. He gave Percy as a gift those Converse sneakers that have the wings on them that turned into magnets as they were getting dragged to Kronos? Is that who this new threat is that was seemingly pulling them down into the depths until Grover could kick the shoes off?
He's the father of the big three.
Yeah.
And they chopped him up, and he's a titan. They chopped him up and threw him in that pit.
So that had me thinking, like, they've set Luke up to be a great mentor, like the first friend that Percy's ever really had, having his back. He's one of the strongest kids at camp. He identifies everybody else as, like, steer clear of them, with Clarice and everything. Like, he's quick to point out who's good and who's not. So I was like, when the shoes started to drag, for everybody who knows what's actually going to happen, and even my future self, T-2 hours from now or whatnot, I'm going to watch this back and be like, what the frick am I thinking? But that also occurred to me. I was like, why would he have given them shoes? Why would he have given Percy this gift that then turned into a self-sabotage moment that, had they not gotten them off in time, would have dragged them into the pit? Is Tartarus. Yes, Tartarus. The pit of
tartar sauce.
Tartar. Oh my goodness. So
could eat some tartar sauce right now.
That had me wondering, like, did Luke somehow know? And Luke also has vendetta against his own, like, all the demigods seem, well, not all of them, but, like, they all kind of seem to have, like, vendettas against their godparent, and they made it clear that Luke they made it clear that Luke and Hermes had bad blood, so, like, perhaps this is involved in part of a greater plan to sabotage everybody and just get back at his father. I don't know.
Another interesting observation.
But yes, it's killing us not to tell you. Again, I hate making predictions because I am really very much not good at them at all. Um, but yeah, that's what I noticed. They made a point to acknowledge Annabeth's fear as she was getting swallowed up by those well, not the fear even preceding that. Even before the vines started to encroach on her, she had this kind of worrisome expression once she'd made that discovery and confirmed where they were. So I don't know, but I think that's predictable because that's what Percy predicted. But then, I mean, granted, maybe not so predictable because here I was saying they're all friends. Like, why? Like, I can't see it being either Annabeth or Grover. Like, questioning whether this prophecy is even true or, like, if it was a false prophet or something like that, So, but I guess it could be a diversion, they go in, even Percy himself thinks it's going to be Annabeth, they grow, their friendship develops, you think, no way, there's no way possible, how could she wouldn't do that to them, and she had that huge monologue, that huge grounded, down-to-earth, like, heartfelt, I don't want to be like how our ancestors have been. Why do we have to create the same legacy as our parents, which is just one of betraying each other, and like always coming for each other's throats. Like, I want to break away from that. So I don't think I don't know. I'm
Very interesting
already not
observation.
looking forward to rewatching this and seeing how off I was. So yeah,
Well, everybody's taking notes. They're gonna have their receipts. So next week, everybody can show them in the chat, and we can all see whether your interesting observations were truly interesting or not. We shall see.
That's all I got.
Okay. So where do you? Okay, you're saying
it could be
you're
Annabeth.
Anticipating who the betrayer is, which is
could be Annabeth, could be Luke. Those are my two locking them in.
Arguably the major part of the prophecy.
A friend will betray you. What were the exact words? Because this is why I'm like, what was the prophecy?
You wanna? Let's read it.
What was the exact?
I'll find the exact words, and we can read it off.
Because if there's like a loophole, if there's slight language that could be tweaked or interpreted in different ways, if it's not so literal, that's why I'm like, how do we know this prophecy is true, or that we're reading into it properly? It's Honda's mom, I am telling you. No comments, says Slarfell. I can't wait to find out how wrong I am. It's so hard because I wish I could see all your guys' faces as I'm like probably botching this.
Okay. So I will recite the prophecy word for word as the oracle says what it is.
Okay.
Okay. You shall go west and face the god who has turned. You shall find what was stolen and see it safely returned. You shall be betrayed by one who calls you a friend. And you shall fail to save what matters most in the end.
All right.
So
the god who's turned is Ares, I presume.
Interesting observation.
I mean,
you shall find what was stolen, see it safely returned.
That could mean numerous things. I mean, there were several things stolen. The bolt, his mother, but the final nail in the coffin seems to imply what matters most will be lost. It sounds like his mom.
You shall be betrayed by one who calls you a friend.
That can be twisted. One who calls you a friend, not somebody that you call a friend. Doesn't have to be two-sided. Could be anybody. So who along the way? By one who... Say it again?
You shall be betrayed by one who calls you a friend.
I'm trying to analyze this word for word. You shall be betrayed.
You shall be betrayed by one who calls you a friend.
By one who calls you a friend.
And you shall fail to save what matters most in the end.
What are you singing? In the end, it doesn't even matter. Yes, Charlie. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect
let
placement.
me change my tone. 'Cause in the end, you shall fail to save what matters most.
I mean, that to me immediately. The thing about prophecies is I feel like your gut instinct of what it means, of what it's implying, isn't always right. You have to read in deeper. You shall fail to rescue what matters most. Fail to rescue or save? Which word is it?
You shall fail to save what matters most.
What matters most? What matters most? What matters most? I mean, if we're talking about Percy specifically, that's his mother, I'm going to presume.
Interesting.
But I think another thing that could be another high stakes thing is just the entirety of the they're not really civil right now, but the current standing of, you know, the gods as they know them, like, you know, the stability with all the gods and everything. You know, it doesn't say what matters most to you, but what matters most to the gods is themselves, as the show has very much made it known. You know, upholding, you know, everything they hold dear, all their glory and whatnot. So for them, what matters most is keeping that structure, keeping that stable, keeping it secret, keeping it safe. Remember, the book is from Percy's point of view. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to decipher. Is the Oracle talking? Is this all just specifically to Percy? Because yeah, if it's what matters most to Percy, I would argue that's his mother, or his 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 mom, Sally. Because yeah, like his dad matters to him, but he's not been in the picture for his life. I wouldn't say his father matters more to Percy in terms of love and care than his mother does. So that's team Sally.
Interesting.
Oh,
I put my trust
that's all I've got. That's all I've got. But the one who calls you friend. One who calls you friend.
One who calls you friend.
That doesn't have to be a two-way street. That can be, somebody can see you as a friend that you don't see as also. So, I don't know. Dang it! We got T-minus 30 minutes, folks. I've never been so, like, Tom's face is priceless.
You gotta lock something in.
Have to?
Lock in some definites. That's the fun here. Lock it in.
I have to?
Lock in. We're gonna go line by line. Go west.
Serious?
Where's west?
They went to California.
More specific.
The underworld.
More specific.
More specific than that?
No. Where is it? Geographically.
Santa Monica.
Underworld. Okay.
Santa Monica. Santa Monica.
I think the entrance was technically Hollywood, but
it was?
Yes. Anyway, that's the least important part of this prophecy. Go west. Face the god who has turned. Who is it? Lock it in. I'm gonna take notes. I'm taking notes.
The god who has turned.
We're gonna take notes and we're gonna see
how
she does.
My guess there's Aries, because they put two and two together and came to the conclusion that he was in cahoots he had manifested stealing the bolt somehow and tricked them, and now we left off last episode, cliffhanger, he's storming towards them on the beach, and every trailer we've seen has Percy fighting him, but please record her reaction if she's wrong. I know I'm gonna be. This is why you guys know every reaction I make, I precede it with a disclaimer of my own self-awareness that I'm so not good at this.
It would be fun to clip this out when we're going through this, and then montage that with clips of you reacting.
God.
However, I'm not going to elaborate because we don't want to let her know if she's correct or not. You need to leave it to
Leave it to fate.
to our imagination, to her imagination. Okay, so you're locking in Ares. Locking in Ares. What about Dionysus, or Athena, Aphrodite, Hermes, Hades,
Yeah, does Hades count?
Pam? Well, Pam is Pam a god? I forget.
What about, does Cronus count?
He's a Titan.
I'm locking in Ares.
Locking in Ares. All right. Locking in Ares. Locked in. Next. You shall find what was stolen. What was stolen?
The bolt. Didn't Hades say his helm?
Yeah, I forget exactly what, I forget the name of the thing that was stolen from Hades.
Yeah.
But yes. Yes,
I mean,
that's true.
They already
That's true.
They already did find the bolt. Statistically, you will be correct at least once. Will I? That's wishful thinking, Stanley's.
The math is in her favor, certainly.
That's
You've
wishful
got like
thinking.
you got a couple options for each of these. Perhaps. Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, prophecy, these things can mean anything. I don't think it's so concrete, and I don't think it's always the obvious. It's like, what was stolen? Yeah, the biggest thing being the bolt, his mother, Hades' helm, the helm of darkness, and Zeus's thunderbolts. She's got this. Thank you, Derek. Thank you. I appreciate y'all's confidence.
Okay. What are you locking in here?
It's between his mother, the bolt. I'm gonna nix out his mom. So it's between the bolt and the helm, but they already found the bolt, so like, you will find what was stolen.
I haven't slowed it down for you.
Thank you. I'm gonna. I think it's there's not enough time. You know, even last week's episode when he's like, I'll take you up on that. We'll go get your helm, and when I come back, you're giving me my mom. So, but I'm like, how is there time?
Don't look at my phone.
I'm not. I'm literally zoning out into space, trying to think. I don't think there's time for him to get the helm. What even is that? Where would that be? Where would they start? You know, they spent 7 episodes here going to get the bolt. They're not going to restart all over and condense all that, retrieving the helm in the final episode. So I'm going to... But the bolt is obvious! I want to say bolt, but it's too obvious. What was stolen? Can I pass? Can I come back to that one? This is so high stakes.
We're coming back to that one. Next. You shall find what's stolen and see it safely returned.
Yeah.
Returned where?
Safely.
Where is it safely returned? We can come back to that too, because you probably need to. You might want to lock in something for the first part of the sentence before coming back to the second part. So we'll come back to that 2-part question. Next, you shall be betrayed by one who calls you a friend. Who is the one who calls you a friend?
The wording is, there's loophole capabilities. One who calls you a friend does not necessarily imply that you consider them a friend. One who calls you a friend could be anyone. It does not have to be a two-way street. It does not have to be reciprocated friendship.
Correct.
But one who calls you a friend. The betrayer. I mean, I'm gonna guess it's not Annabeth, because I think that's not the way the writing has steered her character this whole time. Percy called her out for it in the beginning and said, you know, Alright, I'm ruling out Annabeth officially. It's not gonna be her. It's not gonna be her.
Locking in not Annabeth. Okay.
If I'm so wrong, all of you guys are like, no! Like, if she's the one, everyone right now is collectively cringing. One who calls you a friend. I don't want it to be Grover. There's no way. There's no
Locking
way.
in Grover?
No, I don't want it to be Grover. There's no way it could be
Not
him.
Locking in Grover.
But at the same time, it's the ones you least expect who can surprise you the most. So, like, it could be, and it would be quite the twist if Percy went into it choosing Grover because, you know, Grover has his back, and specifically choosing Annabeth because he knows they're not friends and that, therefore, she wouldn't lead it to become true. No, I already ruled out Annabeth. I'm not going to backtrack. I'm not going to go back. It's like watching Jeopardy. Yeah, can y'all see, like, the clockwork in my brain going at it right now? I keep going to Luke. For some reason.
Interesting. So you locking in Luke?
What does he have to do with everything? He gave them the shoes that dragged them all the way down. Like, okay, I'm locking in Luke.
Locking in Luke?
I'm locking in Luke. That's not gonna be it. That's not gonna be it.
Luke, what's the last name? There's plenty of Lukes.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Skywalker.
The Luke. Luke. Hermie's son, Luke.
Hermie's son, Luke.
Go with your first choice, like they say in most tests. Derek, don't give me flashbacks.
You shall be betrayed by one who calls you a friend. Last part of the prophecy. You shall fail to save what matters most in the end.
What matters most in the end.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't even matter. Try so hard.
Got so far.
Got so far.
I mean, that means, like, this is why I'm dissecting the language to a T. Like, you should fail to save what matters most in what matters most in the end. Meaning, like, in the end, at the end of the day, your family, your mom, that's what matters most. Or, like, you shall fail to save what matters most in the end. Like, at the end of everything, they've done everything, he's achieved everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to believe it's his mom. I don't want to believe it's Sally. Shall fail to save what matters most in the end. Isn't that a song? It is, Alice. We should have it as the theme song of tonight's episode.
Should be. Alice, you know it. Come on, you know that song. In the end, Linkin Park.
Frank. Like, again, it's the obvious. It's the obvious. You just failed to save what matters most in the end.
We saw him floss in the earlier season, so he must like Fortnite.
Oh my god. What?
Yeah, remember when he's waiting, when they're playing
What
Capture the
does that
Flag?
have to do?
He's flossing.
What does that have to do with anything?
He saves Fortnite, because that matters most to him.
What matters most? What matters most?
You locking in Fortnite?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the structure of the gods, their system as we know it. That is, like, so wrong, but I don't want to believe that it's his mom. That's too obvious. Too sad. There's no way.
It's too sad if he saves his mom?
No, it's too sad if he loses her.
Sorry, I shouldn't,
Too sad if he loses her. So I want to believe that he saves her. and that all this wasn't for nothing, because, you know, they specifically, you know, had the Master Bolt in their backpack, and they all still, you know, he and Grover unanimously agreed. They were like, let's go get her. So I don't want to think that's for nothing, that logic, that mentality. So I'm gonna say, because in the process of saving his mom, that, because that is what matters most to him. What matters most to the gods is themselves. Again, I'm just going back in circles, but I feel like he's gonna sacrifice all of that, whatever, the stability.
Sacrifice himself.
He's going to sacrifice himself. No, you can't. You will stop safe getting this. No, not. God dang it. Not me. Not Almighty. You.
Have you guys seen that audio that's going around on TikTok and what have you? It's been stuck in both our heads.
Oh, God.
Anyway, what are you locking in? Now we're
Sean, exactly. This
Harry
is what I'm
Potter.
saying. What matters most to
Yep.
Percy or to the world? That's what I'm talking about. I think what matters most to him is his mom, but what matters most in the grand scheme of these things for all the gods is their own stability. And it's on the fringe right now. It's about to collapse. And I think Percy is about to be like, F that. All the other gods have gotten themselves in this mess. That's been a whole undertone of this entire show, is these young kids are like having to deal with all of the weird structure and systems and just bloodthirsty, cutthroat, vengeful, like stupid logic that,
now we're calling the gods stupid.
yes, because why the frick all these gods who all think they're the shiz, why the frick are they sending these 3 children? Although Grover claims he's 24. Grover says he's 24. Why are they all sending? Yes, war is looming. Like, I think he can't save them from war. So I think that's what's gonna happen. You will fail to save what matters most. What matters most is preventing the war amongst the gods. I'm gonna go with that. Locking it in.
All right. Locking in war with the gods.
And this is only the beginning. I know, right? Like, it's so wild.
in.
It's so wild. It's exactly what Tom was saying, you know. It's hard to rate this season necessarily because he has the larger knowledge of everything, you know, that is still to come. So, like, this is why I want to read the books after to fill the void.
In rereading the prophecy, technically, there's one more line at the end,
What?
which is in the end.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
What's the end?
Well, that's what I was explaining. That's what I'm trying to decipher. Is this, well, how is this grammatically meant to be interpreted? You will fail to save what matters most in the end.
There's
Meaning,
a comma
like,
in between most and in the
most
end, by the way. Comma
in the end. Yeah.
Does grammar matter here, ladies and gentlemen?
That means like at the end of all days, at the end of your quest, you know, versus like you will fail to
I
save.
think you just said 2 different things. At the end of all days versus the end of the quest.
But you know what I mean.
I don't. It's either at the end of their quest or
I think this is
when Percy dies or at the end of time.
Well, that's why I'm like, yeah, why is this, does this have to be relevant, pertinent to what's happening right now? That could be later. That could be later down in his life. You know, maybe it's not even going to come to fruition. Maybe maybe the odds are against me right now because none of this maybe plays out and this all extends into the larger story. So,
Interesting. We'll lock that in.
end
What's
of the
the end?
journey, end of the path,
What's
end
the
of the
end?
world. The end is, I don't know. The end is ambiguous, metaphorically or literally. This is too much. This is why I would never put me on a quest, y'all. Never send me to a fortune teller, a psychic, or a prophet, because I will literally just try to grammatically decipher word for word, line by line, what it could possibly mean.
Zeta. Young fool. Only now, at the end, do you understand?
You fool. Yeah, no. So
That's different lines there.
I know,
Okay.
but
You fool. Train in your Jedi arts Thoughts?
Well, there's my predictions. T minus.
What's the end? No.
The end? I have to predict what the end
Yes.
is too?
Lock in the end.
You'll fail to save what matters most in the end.
Comma in the end.
Comma in the end.
Comma space. In space, the space, end, period.
I think the end is not happening this season. That's my prediction.
Okay.
The end is something else.
Not this season. Locking that in?
Yep.
Okay. Locked in. Not this
Sounds
season.
like I missed a lot from last episode. No, I don't know if you did, Alice. We're just trying to, as coming into this, I have no knowledge. I have no idea what's going to transpire tonight. The main bulk of this evening's pregame has been me trying to predict the prophecy, the words of the prophet in the very beginning of their quest, foretelling that Percy will be betrayed, XYZ. So I was trying to, that's what I've stretched my brain a lot recapping.
Well, you're not done because we got to go back to 2.
Ah, Frank, the traitor, right? No.
Stolen item, where it's returned. So that chunk of the prophecy goes, you shall find what was stolen and see it safely returned. You wanted to defer on those choices. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we go back.
I'm going to say
where
his
you
mom.
need to lock it in.
His mom.
Stolen item is the mom?
Yes, because if my other prediction is that whatever happens in the end, you will fail to save what matters most in the end, I think that is the... In saving his mom, he's going to fail to save whatever that's implying. Ugh.
Okay, so where's it returned?
His mom returned to the real world. Returned to the surface, to our world.
Locking in real world?
Yes.
Real.
Do you guys have a favorite character? Good question, Tyler.
I'm hesitant to say an answer to that question.
Who's
What
mine?
is your favorite character?
Who's mine?
I will say that. Oh, I could be cryptic here.
No, I've already done too much.
What are you looking up? Don't spoil yourself. You're gonna spoil
I'm
the
not
ending.
spoiling
What are
it.
you doing? This is the wrong time to just generically Google search Percy Jackson.
I'm just ignore
What
me.
you don't?
No, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
We just spent this whole stream trying to stop. Even the quizzes are gonna be.
Even the quizzes?
I feel like they could spoil stuff.
All right.
Or what are you gonna do? Which Greek god
Yes.
could you be? Okay. All right. Okay.
Let's do a little
that should be
fun.
That should be fun. I think, unless you, that's fine. Well, hold on. Before we go into this, I want to recap all of your choices,
How wrong
for
I
everybody.
am.
and you should say your favorite character. I'll say that my favorite character is in this season. But if I say who it is, then that could reveal things to come. And for those who are familiar,
Okay.
based on what I just said, even that is not one obvious option. But we'll revisit this when the time is right. What's your favorite character?
I mean, I obviously like all the kids. I think Grover probably.
Grover? Okay.
But I also I think there's more to Hermes and Hades. They've both had very brief. The elevator scene with Hermes also like had me cracking the frick up. Like I hope that we get to see more from him eventually down the line
When
in
he
this
takes
show.
the head.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a little quiz now, folks. What god would I be descended from as we kill time before episode drops at 6? What's your preferred way to deal with a difficult coworker? These so revealing. Ignore them, offer assistance and support, practice patience and empathy. Become even more difficult. I usually I'll go with this one. Which of these hobbies is most likely to become your next career? Oh!
Everything except one.
Yeah, this could be anything. Creating video content. I mean,
If I'm betting
go with
on one that
that.
it's not gonna be,
definitely not this.
bet on
But like
that.
this is more.
I mean, you're not like unathletic. You
These
do
are
athletic
all
things.
these are all in tune with.
Hiking and skiing and.
I'll go with creating video content for now, just because that's like what I'm trying to tap into. So we'll do that. We'll do that. How do you handle a boring job? Set goals. Take breaks. Yeah, I definitely have to take breaks. Which of these unusual jobs would you choose to pursue as a career? Professional puzzle solver? Frick no! If y'all have seen my Jedi Survivor gameplay, Jedi Fallen Order, that would be the worst possible job. Professional food taster, sleep
That's called
consultant,
engineering, by the way.
ice cream flavored developer, paranormal investigator. Let's go with that one.
Which one?
Paranormal investigator.
Oh, you did have interest in forensics.
Yeah, it did.
So, yeah.
What's your go-to excuse for calling in sick? Allergic reaction, dental emergency, stomach bug, dog ran away, food poisoning. That's probably what I would choose because that's the most extreme. And if you say that, nobody's gonna question you. What's your preferred method of communication with coworkers? Yell something soon. Why is this so like work based?
I love that it's yelling across the office. There's not like in person. It's either you do it virtually, don't talk to them, or yell at them.
I guess text. How do you balance your work and personal life? Spend out vacation days, don't check email, practice self-care, set clear boundaries, play games when I was looking, turn off notifications. I guess just practice self-care. How do you deal with a difficult boss? Keep to yourself, just smile and nod. Take initiative and stand up for yourself. Vent with coworkers. Look for a new job. Cry in the bathroom. Oh, several of these. I'm a big cry in the bathroom.
Cry in the bathroom?
Hey!
Cry in the bathroom? Really?
Yeah.
That's what you think?
You don't know me. Let's go! I'm Poseidon's child. Good work.
Is it Poseidon because there's a toilet and a sink in the bathroom, shower, plumbing?
Based on your
running water?
responses, you've been claimed by Poseidon. Go ahead and make yourself at home in cabin number 3. Train well. Don't forget to brush your teeth occasionally. And try not to get sent on a quest. They tend to shorten your lifespan. Your activities director, Chiron. Do you want to do this?
Sure.
I wonder what happens if I
I'll do it.
refresh. Here we go.
Do it. Alice says she got Hades.
Ooh, Alice.
Derek got Zeus. Nice.
Nice. Y'all are OP.
Yeah, we're talking about big 3 here. All right. Yeah, I'll do it. Your ideal work environment. Dynamic and fast paced.
We are the complete opposite.
What's your preferred way to deal with the difficult coworker? I'm the same way.
Okay.
Patience and empathy. Hobbies most likely to become your next career. See, this is opposite because I have very little to choose from on this list.
Go with podcasting because you're very dedicated to the Dork Discourse podcast.
Okay. Podcast. I was going to say athletics or podcasting because...
Yeah.
Well, okay, podcasting, sure. How do you handle a boring job? Focus on the bigger picture is a great answer. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Focus on the bigger picture. Which of these unusual jobs would you choose to pursue as a career? Paranormal investigator is good. This is...
You'd be good at that.
This is,
that's basically what
engineering is solving problems, not puzzles. I'll go food taster.
Yeah?
Professional food taster.
You'd actually be really good at that.
Go-to excuse for calling in sick? Yeah, food poisoning. Gotta go food poisoning. Preferred method of communication. I'm a big in-person type of communicator. So I would rather just go talk face to face. So I'm going to pick yelling across the office just because that's the only in-person communication option on the list. So I'm gonna go with that. How do you balance your work and personal life? Don't check email after a certain time. That's good. Spread out vacation days is a good one as well. I'm gonna go with that. Spread out vacation days. How do you deal with a difficult boss? I think I mean, just smile and nod is a great answer.
All of our future employers watching this back.
Great answer there. It's you don't want to just. It depends what the level of difficult is.
Mm.
If you're getting like, if it's like mean, like you're getting abused or harassed or not listened to, and you like, then yeah, get out of there. Look for a new job. Don't just cry in the bathroom. Look for a new job. Take care of yourself. Get out of there. If it's like difficult, like you have respect for them and they treat you with respect, but they're either asking for too much or like you're not on the same page in terms of what expectations are or what the deadlines are or what the workload is, things like that, then you have to take initiative and stand up for yourself.
If you want to stay there,
you got to set the boundaries. Yeah, if the difficulty is trying to make the working relationship work, but you love your job, you love what you're doing, you love what the goals are, then it's got to be this one. So I'm gonna go this one. Assuming they're not.
This is rigged. This is rigged because we picked all different answers.
Yeah. I think the only thing we picked similar was food poisoning.
Yeah, we literally picked everything opposite.
It's because of seafood. Poseidon.
Oh, seafood gives you food poisoning? Well,
the last time I had it was because of a white fish that we ate.
When was this?
Yeah. We don't need to go into details here, but it was white fish.
I was not privy to it.
You did not have. Well, I don't think you had the same fish that I had. But anyway, well we both got Poseidon. So, Derek, you lost $5. Were you making side bets here?
Yeah, what did you guys get if you've taken this? So we know that Hades was an option. All right, we have some other Poseidons in here.
Oh.
Somebody said they got Zeus, right?
Yep. Yeah, Alice. No, Alice got Hades.
Nice, Alice.
Derek got Zeus. I think. Yes, Derek got Zeus. Yes.
Yeah, this was fun.
Zeta also got Poseidon. Incest.
Ah.
I don't know, Alice. Everybody, this is my sister.
I wasn't thinking that. Predicted you as Zeus. I know. I thought he was going to be something other than Poseidon. This is rigged. Because Percy's half sister, another forbidden child.
Who's Zeus, Derek? Catherine or myself? Seafood Tom or watermelon? Ooh, yeah, probably, you're right. Don't remind me.
His least two favorite things. Well, we got 1 minute, folks. Is there a poll that you want to do?
Before we wrap up, I want to recap
my predictions.
Your answers that you locked in, and then you have to go through a poll. So, the god who has turned. Kat says Ares. Stolen item. Kat says mom. Percy's mom. Where it's returned. Kat says real world. The betrayer. Kat says Luke. The thing that they fail to save that matters most. War with the gods. Says Kat. And the end. What is the end? Kat says, not this season. Not this season.
Oh, God.
Is what Kat says. So, those are the answers there. I have them saved. We shall recap and see what comes from that.
Come back and roast me, everybody.
Now we shall end with a poll.
Catch you later, Derek. Enjoy. Julian, thank you so much.
Julian.
Hi Cat, hi Tom. Off subject. Next month will be a year since we all saw Fanboys with you. Oh my gosh! Yo, we should have like Fanboys anniversary and do another watch party in celebration. Oh, thanks Julian for the super chat and for the reminder. That's so funny. And shout out to the members, yes, who encouraged me to watch that movie. I cannot believe I had never, as a Star Wars fan, seen it before. It was so good. It was so funny.
One poll idea would be everybody take bets on how many you get right. But for those who have seen it, that
You're spilling.
could be.
Oh god, no, that could be.
Spoiler, and could.
Yes, no.
I could spoil so.
Too slippery slope. Alright, assume pole positions, folks. We're doing our final. You guys know how we like to end it around here. Pole positions. Do you like the Percy Jackson TV show? Top answer, yes. Middle answer, no. Bottom answer, not watching. Which, if that's the case, still thank you for being here. That's true dedication. Truly value your support and hanging out with us, in spite of not having any clue what we're talking about this evening. You may fire when we're ready.
Yep. If you've had no idea what we're talking about this whole time, then and you're still here, you are a trooper.
You're a champ.
Appreciate you just hanging out. All right.
Yes, 80%. 20% not watching. Let's go.
There we go.
So that means everybody who is watching is enjoying it. Come on, we got 14 viewers, only 5 votes. Let's go, baby. Let's go, go. It's from Ratatouille, my favorite movie.
It should have been, what's your favorite Linkin Park song? That's what it should have been.
Dang it.
And the choices would have been in the end.
There's too many to count good Linkin Park songs.
All right. In the end or numb. I feel like those are like the two. Or what I've done is a possible third choice just because of
Transformers.
Yeah. Yeah. And the grip that song has on society.
Yes. FYI, if you didn't know, the new Cal Kestis fan film is out now. Oh my gosh, yes, Stanley's. Thank you for reminding me. It premiered today. I have to react to it. Oh my gosh, thank you. I can't wait. This is actually perfect because I was looking for a video to do for tomorrow or Thursday before our Legend of Korra season finale reaction comes out on Friday. And this is perfect. I need to react to that. Their stuff is so good. I love the first one. I never even watched the trailer for the second one here, but I got so excited seeing that the runtime is 40 minutes. Like, incredible. So I will actually be reacting to that. Thank you, Stanley. Thank you. You just gave me my video idea for this week.
Ooh, Julian and Charlie. Crawling is a great fourth option. Crawling is a fantastic fourth option there.
It is.
Yeah.
Transformers! I know, those movies are classics. Classics.
Yeah. Numb, in the end, what I've done, Crawling, are 4 fantastic options. I'm going to go on Spotify right now and see what their top 4 songs are.
Probably those.
I'm betting that 3 of those 4 are in the top songs. For fun, while we let the votes trickle in here for the rest of the poll, we will look at the Linkin Park most streamed songs.
Oh, thank you, Charlie.
Ooh. We missed a big one. Faint.
Oh.
Top 3 are In the End, Numb, What I've Done. And then Faint is 4. And then 5 is the Numb Encore mix with Jay-Z, which is also awesome.
Nice.
So Crawling did not make top 5.
Interesting.
But Faint is a great choice. I would pick, personally, In the End, Numb, Faint, and Crawling as my top 4.
All right.
If this is going to become
clearly you and everybody else
Linkin Park ranking channel.
Maybe we'll talk more about music on this channel, because you guys have seen I've been uploading some shorts, just trying to do a little bit more singing, because I don't really do it elsewhere and I haven't really done it for a while, so I figured this is like an okay avenue to just do it occasionally, post it, have fun, not take myself too seriously. get over my fear of posting my, you know, musical passions, you know, singing and stuff like that, because it can be very scary. Because the internet is a scary place, but you guys have been nothing but supportive, so who knows, maybe we'll dabble a little bit more into musical stuff. I've gotten requests from some of you guys sometimes to like do music reactions, which we enjoy listening to, like especially metal. Like we both love metal as a genre, and we love watching people's metal reactions. So you know, maybe in the future, so who knows, maybe we will do a Linkin Park video on this channel at some point. Who knows? It's not out of the question. What I've done is going to play in the end credits.
Spoiler alert, that's why we're talking about Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Because the prophecy's name dropping in the end, and they're going to hit us with what I've done ending. Charlie Lost is great too. That song is fantastic as well. New Divide, another good one.
They're just all good. They're all too good. I would love more. Thank you, Sean. Yes, my goal is I'm posting 1 per day, maybe double per day on TikTok. Trying to get some traction over there, and I've been slacking posting them on YouTube Shorts. I'm going to catch up and post them here. But at least 1 per day on TikTok. So if you don't follow me over there, I don't blame you, because I don't even like TikTok. So I won't pressure y'all. But
self-promote. Way to advertise yourself.
Listen, I barely even know how to use. I barely even know how to use TikTok. So I'm not gonna be out here promoting an app that I don't even fully know how to operate, or if I'm even doing it right. So, well, folks.
Well, we got 10 votes, and
yeah,
like it's pretty static now.
It's been there, for a while. So
Paper Gut Charlie, that's good too.
Ooh.
Underrated.
Well, glad to hear everybody's enjoying the show. We're excited for this finale tonight. This was a great way to pregame, a great way to prep. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Stanley's shout out for my video idea for this week. Stay tuned for that. I will be reacting to the new Cal Kestis fan film coming out, and I've got my Korra season 1 finale reactions ready for the end of this week.
Nice.
Posting on Friday as we typically do, except last weekend I posted on Saturday, but we're gonna ignore that anyway. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'll catch you guys in the Evil Ewok podcast on Thursday. But until then, enjoy tonight's finale. We've got a few minutes overtime here, so if you're still here watching, thank you. We'll let you all go and have a great rest of your day, night, morning, evening, 3 a.m., wherever you may be. And if you're watching Percy Jackson, enjoy. I am not looking forward to watching back my Oracle predictions and seeing how bad off I was. So,
got the written documentation and audio visual documentation as well.
Plenty of digital footprint here. So. But yes, thank you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And we'll see you guys again very, very soon. I wish we could just cue Linkin Park.
New outro music.
What I've done. No. Oh my gosh. Bye, everybody.
Enjoy.